Welcome altruists,
truth seekers,
conspiracy theorists,
and nut jobs alike. We talk about green energy a lot in our videos, but we rarely talk about some of the negative side effects of a specific green energy source. Wind turbines. To be more specific, offshore wind turbines. We will briefly cover both through We'll briefly cover both, though, just so you can have a more in-depth understanding. And this was a requested video. We didn't know very much about this stuff until
we started researching.
Yeah.
We learned a ton more than we thought we were going to.
So, yes.
When we talk about green energy, we typically think of helping the planet, reducing our carbon footprint, switching away from fossil fuels, reducing the use of water for energy, and emitting greenhouse gases on a large production scale.
Let's start with some of the basic issues with offshore wind turbines. First off, they are ridiculously expensive. Offshore wind turbines cost an average of $6,230 per kilowatt, compared to an onshore wind turbine which costs an average of $2,213 per kilowatt. To install an onshore wind turbine can cost anywhere from $2.5 to $4 million. The 12 most powerful offshore wind turbines cost $400 million to manufacture and install. On top of these costs, they are an eyesore for people living near the coast. And there isn't recent studies saying they don't actually reduce CO2 emissions.
So we're going to backtrack a little bit, and we're going to talk about some of the proven effects of onshore wind turbines, so you can have a better understanding of what it would do to our oceans. Wind turbines are damaging to our planet, people, and animals. We, of course, recommend researching this topic on your own, and we recommend that you use DuckDuckGo as your search engine.
They don't monitor your searches, they don't track your searches, they don't filter what you see. It's a lot more trustworthy and non-biased.
Yes.
The first item of business with onshore wind turbines is the fact that over 10 studies found localized warming near and around operational wind farms, and it was found that these areas of localized warming patterns were actually larger than the effects of the reduced emissions. Onshore wind turbines are also linked to infertility in animals within a certain radius, large populations of birds dying, chickens laying soft-shell eggs, dairy cows quit producing milk, high miscarriage rates of all nearby animal populations, and the flat-out disappearance of wildlife near these wind turbines.
Wouldn't it make sense before throwing up massive-scale offshore wind turbines to do small, localized testing instead of spending millions of dollars installing them into our oceans first? Unfortunately, that is not the route that was chosen. In fact, scientists are barely getting around to researching adverse effects starting in 2021. When the first offshore wind turbines were installed out of the UK in 2000. It's 21 years ago. It's crazy. At this time, the Dodger Bank Wind Farm is the largest offshore wind farm, although that will surely change in coming years. Hopefully they do more research before that.
They've been neglectful as far as research goes.
Very
They
neglectful.
don't really care about the ocean, and they haven't this entire time anyway, so that probably won't change.
Dodger Bank Wind Farms began their project in 2019, and they intend to do 3 phases of 200 wind turbines per phase, totaling around 600 or so turbines. If you haven't seen an image of these, consider looking them up because they really make the ocean look like shit.
They're nasty looking.
Very. No, you're good. Offshore wind speeds are a lot higher, and we do understand why they're trying to do that. But is their potential enough or worth what we're gonna do not only to our ocean but to the animals in the ocean?
At 300 or more feet, wind turbines emit around 43 decibels of sound. Even up to 6 miles away, you're still hearing around 20 hertz, just within human hearing capabilities. At 35 decibels, bird species reduced by half, and within 300 feet of a turbine, the decibels increase to 50 to 70. Noise interference at these frequencies negatively affects avian health, communication, and survival. At this point, you may be wondering why and how this affects marine and ocean life, and I have 2 very important words for you. echolocation, and sonar.
Whales and dolphins will not only be completely displaced, it changes where and how they eat, their patterns of movement, and when and where they can breed. These offshore wind turbines have to be elevated enough to catch wind while also being anchored to the ocean floor. For animals and plants such as sea cucumbers, sea stars, corals, crustaceans, sponges, and sea anemones, and so forth, will it kill them, displace them, negatively affect how they reproduce?
The ultimate wind farm has killed thousands of gold eagles as well as many other bird species. It's noted in several studies that wind farms regularly kill and displace horses, dogs, goats, alpacas, seals, deer, frogs, moles, and chickens. Wind farms also cause mass die-offs of bats because of their lungs literally exposed from the change in air pressure, and their ability to see through echolocation is no more because of the wind turbines.
The lungs explode.
Their lungs explode from the change in wind pressure. Do you know how intense that is?
Right? And it's just because of the freaking turbines just spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Completely changes the air pressure in that area, and it literally...
Fucking awful.
Even if we take a look outside of ocean life, how will these large-scale offshore wind farms affect seagulls, ducks, geese, pelicans, sparrows, and other migratory bird species? A step beyond that, if these wind farms are affecting animal fertility and lifespan this drastically, how are they affecting pregnant women and humans in general?
Fortunately, there's already a study done on it. Not surprisingly, it concluded that wind turbine syndrome occurs in humans just as it does animals. Not surprising at all. In Germany, a dozen dead porpoises ended up on the shore near a newly completed wind farm as a cause. Do you remember the 130 dolphins beached in Cape Cod for seemingly no reason?
I do.
Also near a large wind farm.
If we already have studies proving wind farms to be this detrimental on land, why are mass offshore wind farms being encouraged? Stray voltage or dirty electricity causes soft shell eggs and deaths in chicken. It also causes a reduction in milk production and successful birth rates, as well as cows can feel the voltage in the ground, which causes them to dance. It also killed children and pets in all over the world because they didn't know that the ground was charged because of all of these wind turbines.
We absolutely support green energy and switching from fossil fuels when we can, but we need to make sure that they're actually green and beneficial for the whole environment, not just our human environment.
Yeah.
We want to save the planet, but are offshore wind turbines the answer? Is there a safer, less harsh alternative? Because this just seems fucking awful.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about them? Are they better or worse than power options we have now? Are they really a green energy source, considering what they do to the environment? I mean, they affect people just like they do humans, so... I mean, fucking animals just like they do humans, so... Fuck.
I mean, it's messing up stuff on land. I can't imagine what it's gonna do.
And water, like the electricity and water.
Exactly, and not only that, but the marine life down there, like...
Dolphins and whales will literally not be able to go within a certain radius of them because they won't be able to communicate, they won't be able to see, they won't be able to do a bunch of shit that they have to do to survive.
They can't.
And if it's leaking electricity, then anything in a certain radius is going to be getting shocked.
Exactly.
And I'm sure it's going to be amplified in water enough to kill something.
Oh yeah.
So.
No telling how many deaths could come from that. That's all for today, guys. Remember, stay kind, stay educated, and stay questioning everything.